So last week I released my reactions to Wine Spectator's top 10. I'm going to go over the top 100 list and talk about the wines that I want that would excite me. This is not a video about how the wines are selected or why they're on the list, but I do get a kick out of your comments. Let's begin here. Of course, this list is going to be heavy on California Cabernet. For California Cab, I'm just going to kind of skip over that. There are some good ones, but right now where my palate's at, it's not the style that I really want to drink. First of all, let's start at number 98, the Chapoutier Hermitage Monier de la Sizeranne, 150 bucks. It is not cheap. Made entirely out of Syrah. Chapoutier is one of the names in the Rhone. This is an exceptional bottle. I think the last one I had was 2014, which was not a great vintage, but still the wine is magical. Hermitage, when it starts to age, can really become a Burgundian, and that's why the wines are so collectible, because there's limited quantity. They are awesome. They're hard to get, but fortunately this is one that you can get your hands on, and it's relatively affordable for Hermitage, as those wines can be really expensive. For those of you that don't know, Hermitage is this tiny hill, tiny appellation in the northern Rhone, composed primarily of Syrah, although you can blend Marsanne in them. There's also Hermitage Blancs, which are very exciting wines too. Number 93, the Proidl Grüner Veltliner Kremstal Senftenberg Ried Pellingen Reserve. I only bring this up, I haven't tasted this wine yet, but I have an upcoming blind tasting video of Grüner Veltliners from Austria. Austria's signature white wine variety. The wines can act either like Sauvignon Blanc when they're crisp, or they can act like high quality Chardonnay when they're barrel fermented and made a little bit bigger, so stay tuned for that video. Number 88, the Yering Station Pinot Noir from Yarra Valley, the Village. This is only 25 bucks. I am glad that these wines are finally available in the US. When I used to live in Singapore, I used to buy Yering Station wines often. They're inexpensive. I remember at the time, my girlfriend was a huge Burgundy and Pinot Noir fan. She said, I don't like Australian Pinot Noir. And I gave her a taste of this bottle, which was inexpensive. And I remember her enjoying it and saying, okay, I get it. Affordable, delicious. Yarra Valley is maybe my favorite place in Australia for wine. Number 85, the Montenidoli Vernaccia di San Gimignano Tradizionale. This is 33 bucks. I'm actually going to the Anteprima of Vernaccia di San Gimignano next year. It's a very unique wine. This is one of the well-known old school producers. This is quasi-orange wine. There is some skin contact. Acts kind of between like a Northern Rhone white and an orange, a macerated wine. These wines are still relatively affordable. Vernaccia is a very unique grape. You're going to have a little bit of bitterness on the edges, kind of like a fatter Viognier in a way. It's not a grape that's super high in acidity, although it can be made to a fresher style, but I feel like these old school kind of oxidized wines with a little bit of skin contact are more exciting for me. This is an affordable way to drink one of the iconic wines in Italy. Number 82, the Invivo Pinot Noir Marlborough X Sarah Jessica Parker, 30 bucks. This is Pinot Noir from New Zealand. If I remember right, the fruit's actually from Marlborough, which is more famous for Sauvignon Blanc. I tasted this at the Wine Spectator New York experience a while ago. They were actually showing the Sauvignon Blanc, which is good, and they pulled out the Pinot Noir from the back, and I thought it was delicious. Yes, okay, Sarah Jessica Parker, Sex and the City, yes, she owns this, or she's a partner in it, but I think it's really good wine at 30 bucks, especially if you want that pure Pinot Noir raspberry cherry flavor. Number 81, Soalheiro, Alvarinho, Vinho Verde, Monção, and Melgaço. This is only 22 bucks. This is one of the premium producers of Vinho Verde, the green wine from the northern part of Portugal. This is an exceptional producer. Their style usually is a little bit more lees contact, so you get some of those yogurt notes. A little more serious. Vinho Verde sometimes can be just crisp, a little bit spritzy, real simple. This is serious stuff. You can get it in the US. I highly recommend checking it out. Portugal whites for me is really where it's at. Number 74, Domaine Noir et Fil, Pinot Noir, Dundee Hills Incline 2022, 68 bucks. I actually had the 2021 show up in my Oregon Pinot Noir blind tasting video. I thought it was very exceptional. I believe these are the sons, or one of them is one of the sons of Beaufrère, one of the iconic producers in the Willamette Valley. I'll tell you this much, I took this bottle after I tasted it to Germany, to Mundus Vini, where I shared it with a lot of European judges. One of them was one of the iconic biodynamic Pinot Noir producers in Germany, and he was really impressed. I saw him drink many glasses of it. Kind of a stripped down style, a more minimal intervention, doesn't really have a lot of color, but it's just beautiful, pure Oregon Pinot Noir flavors. Number 72, the Massican Ania from California. I can't remember if Dan Butowski sold this brand or not. Massican Massican is a winery in Napa that only produces white wines. I know it's a little bit of an anomaly. This is a blend of Ribolla Gialla, Friulano, and Chardonnay. Just a typical Collio blend. I love this wine. It's a wine that's about 24 bucks. This says 36. I know in my shop where I work at, we sell it for $24.97. I just sold a bottle yesterday. It's a full-bodied, rich white wine that punches well above its price point. Got a special place in my heart too because I really love the wines from Friuli. Number 70, the Pra Soave Classico Otto 2022. This comes in at 21 bucks. My mind has changed on Soave in the recent years. Used to be known as bulk, inexpensive, not exciting wines. The consortium there is really doing a lot to map the vineyards, make kind of Grand Crus. The wines are sharp, Chablis-like, if you may, real smoky, volcanic. And if you want to get in with a high-quality producer at a low price point, this is worth seeking out. Number 67, the Royal Tokai Asu 5 Petunios Red Label 2018. 62 bucks. I've seen it for 50 bucks. I have the 2017 right here because you know what? I am doing a Tokai Asu blind tasting soon. I'm super excited. I've been collecting all the samples. Tokai Asu, one of the greatest for me, maybe top 2, top 3 greatest wines in the world. If you think back to the 17th century when it come to fine wine, it was really France, the Rheingau and the Mosel for Riesling, and Tokai and the Austro-Hungarian Empire for its beautiful, decadent, sweet wines. These truly are like liquid gold. When I give somebody Tokai Asu, their faces always blow up, even if they say, I don't like sweet wines, because the acidity is so sharp, it just cleans off your palate. Just a phenomenal wine, worth seeking out. Number 63, the Pierre Guimonet et Fils Brut Blanc de Blanc Champagne Cuisse. This is 62 bucks. I've recently been tasting a lot of wines from this producer. This is the Blanc de Blanc, and their Brut, their basic is like 49 bucks. It's a producer I think that's worth checking out. Just clean, classic champagne, balanced, fruity enough, but still have those yogurt, some of those brioche, those baked bread notes that I absolutely love. And with the prices of champagne rising, this is still a relative value. Number 53, the R. Lopez de Heredia Vinho Tondonia Reserva 2011 comes in at 60 bucks. This is one of my favorite producers in the world from Rioja in Spain. I actually have their, if you can't spring for the Vinha Tondonia, you can go down to the Bosconia, which is like 45 bucks in the US, or the Vinha Cubillo, which is around 29, 30 bucks in the US. This is just old school Rioja. I remember I visited them when I was first transitioning into the wine world. Old school winery, they age the wines for a long time in Rioja. There's no technology there, all wood, old school. It's a taste of wines like you would have tasted hundreds of years ago. I think these are exceptional wines. They've really blown up in recent years. For a while, they were having problems selling wine. Now everybody loves these wines. I think it's definitely worth checking out. Speaking of, number 51, Bodegas Muga, the Reserva, comes in at 40 bucks, 2020. I know the shop I work at, we sell it for $31. Muga, more concentrated, yet traditional style Rioja. I love these wines, and I love how they age. This is one of the world's great producers, so check it out. Number 48, the Joseph Drouin Sizeranne 2022. This comes in at 30 bucks. I actually just bought this. I get a lot of samples sent to me. I don't buy a ton of wine unless I really, really want it. I have been buying 2022 Burgundies, not really expensive ones, you know, moderately priced ones to stick in the cellar because everything I tasted from 2022 is exceptional. Sizeranne is a little appellation in the Mackinac in the south. Actually, Pouilly-Fuissé is in the middle, and then Sizeranne is like at the top and the bottom of them. Richer, riper style of Chardonnay, and 30 bucks. I got this at the shop I work at for 23 bucks. I think it's exceptional value for money. I've been buying some 2022 Burgundies to put away, but this is inexpensive. I think I'm just going to drink it. Number 41, I don't want this wine, but I think it's funny. The Whitehaven Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough. 20 bucks. This is one of the best sellers in the shop I work at. Kind of like a Cloudy Bay on discount for a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. I'm not super excited about it. Number 40, the Wente Chardonnay Central Coast Morning Fog, 18 bucks, 2022. I have it right here. This actually was in my Thanksgiving wines video that I released last week, and I have to say I wasn't expecting much from this, but this was pretty good barrel fermented Chardonnay. You're not going to mistake it for French Chardonnay. You're going to know it's Californian, but I thought it was pretty high quality, especially at 19 bucks. You know, people that like cheaper Chardonnays, you want to transition them into drinking better stuff, I think this is a good choice. Number 38, the Racines Pinot Noir Senorita Hills Cuvée 2021, 60 bucks. I actually have the 2020 right here. And I've already produced a video about Oregon versus California Pinot Noir. You'll have to stay tuned and look out for it. This is a collaboration between Domaine Montiu and Volnay. Pierre Peter, the champagne producer, and the owner of Tyler, a great producer in Santa Barbara County. This is just classy stuff. I'm not going to spoil it. Just wait for the video to come out. Number 35, Castellar da Castellina Toscana. This is the Sodi de San Nicolo. This is one of their top-end wines. This comes in at 92 bucks, 2020. I bring this up because their Chianti Classico, their normal, you can get it for like $23 to $25, and I think it's just well worth seeking out. Number 33, Elena Walk, the Pinot Grigio from Alto Adige, 22 bucks. This is great. Get people off Santa Margarita. Drink this stuff. That's enough said. The Pinot Grigio from Alto Adige is affordable and delicious, and this is widely available. Number 26, the Dow Late Bottle Vintage Port 2018, 22 bucks. I actually have a video coming up about inexpensive alternatives to vintage port. I think LBV's late bottle vintages are exactly that because you can drink them right away. They're approachable and they're super affordable. Dow's is a little bit more concentrated. This is an excellent wine. And for you port lovers, big port collector, you can stick all those away, drink your LBVs and not even stress about it. I do have a video coming up about vintage ports, young ones, vertical tasting all the way to older ones, so stay tuned for that. Number 24, the San Felice Chianti Classico Il Grigio Riserva, 28 bucks, 2021. They also make an Il Grigio Gran Selezione, which is excellent. I feel like their Reservas, their Gran Seleziones are more elegant, really good value for money, and their basic Chianti Classico is a little more concentrated. You can get it under 20 bucks, and I think it's ridiculous value for money, especially if you're Sangiovese nuts like myself. Number 14, the Turley Zinfandel California Juvenile 2022 comes in at around 22 bucks. Turley is a well-respected, well-known name for Zinfandel in California. I just had this literally 4 or 5 days ago. Not my style of wine. For those of you that like the big, rich flavors of red Zins, I think this is well worth seeking out. You're getting a wine with pedigree from a producer that knows what he's doing, and it's pretty affordable. Personally, I like the winemaker's side project called Sandlands, where he sources a bunch of fruit from unique varieties from old vines all over California. Those are not that expensive, but they're definitely allocated. You kind of have to know somebody or go to the right restaurant to pick up a bottle. Number 11, Craggy Range Sauvignon Blanc Timuna. This comes in at 26 bucks. This is actually pretty outstanding New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, and I bring them up because I really love their Pinot Noirs. They make a Timuna, which is also outstanding, and then Aroha, I think that's their top end Pinot Noir from Marlborough, one of the best Pinot Noirs I've had from New Zealand or Australia. Those are some of the wines I think you should look out for. Did you look at the list? Are there any wines that you really want to try? Let me know. Drop it in the comments below.